Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Couch Warriors. In fact, this is a special edition of the Couch Warriors because we had no game on the weekend. There was a bye, so we had to fill it in somehow. And we're going to talk about what we think, well, what everyone is actually talking about at the moment. Will the Warriors make the top 8? Will they make the top 4? So, Richard, how's it going, bro?
Yeah, good mate. I feel a little bit lost. It feels like it's been 2 or 3 weeks since the Warriors last played. I don't know about you, but this bye round's just taken an age. But here we are. I'm looking forward to diving into some of the upcoming games and but to talk about the Warriors team this weekend as well. So
Yeah. No, definitely. My apologies, mate. I didn't introduce you properly. I just went straight to Richard because we were talking beforehand. So everyone that's listening, this is my co-host Richard, the bandwagon conductor laddie. Sorry, Richard, mate, because we were having a good conversation before this recording. I just went straight into it there. Sorry, mate, but
good
now
man.
let's get. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. It feels like it's been an eternity since we watched the Warriors game, and a lot has happened since that last Warriors game where it was a disaster pretty much struck for the Warriors. So that's why there's a lot of talk about the Warriors at the moment about where they're going to end up, despite the fact they're in a good spot. So let's get into it. So, Richard, there are 9 rounds left. The Warriors are currently in the 4th spot, definitely exceeding many expectations. They have a pretty good run home draw, sorry, with a majority of the teams that they're playing below them or outside the top 8. So it would be fair to think that they are in a pretty good spot, right? But
Yeah,
again, as we just alluded to, but the season-ending losses of Mitch Barnett and Luke Metcalf have thrown some doubt, especially amongst Aussie media, that the Warriors can go all the way. So right now, we're going to go through the Warriors' remaining games, as well as some of the other teams, particularly in the top 6, to see where we believe the Warriors will end up once the regular season is over. You with me, bro?
I'm with you, man.
All right.
Hit
So
me.
look, because if we were going to dive deep, really deeply into this, it would take forever. So we're not going to do that. So it's going to be more of a quick thing. So more of a quick thing in terms of who do you think's going to win here? Who do you think's going to win here? So look, let's start with the Warriors. Okay, we're Couch Warriors. Let's start with the team that we think are going to win is going to win the premiership this year. So Warriors, first game, round 19, coming up on Sunday versus the Tigers. Look, this is the only game that we're going to dive a little bit deeper into, just because it's the first game back after the bye, and also because there's a lot of changes happening here. So first of all, let's talk about the big change here, and the big news of what's happening when the team came out yesterday was the injection of Tanah Boyd at halfback. What were your thoughts? Did you expect that to happen, or were you thinking Tamari Martin would get the nod?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last week on our podcast, and when we got invited onto the NRL Fanatics podcast, it was good to have a chat on there as well, and spend some time with a fellow Warriors sicko. But we talked about it, and I think we were sort of in agreement that we thought that Tanah Boyd would. But as the week went on, I thought about it more, and I was leaning more towards Tamari Martin. It wasn't more that I thought what was going to happen. Like I still thought that Tanah Boyd was going to get the tick.
Yeah,
Um, but like I just remember back to last season when Tamari Martin was playing halfback, and I've said it before, he looked like the best halfback in the comp. So it would have been. I would have probably, I think I would have preferred to see him give it a go. I feel like he should have got the first shot. He's been playing first grade, but his utility factors probably worked against him here, and he has the last 3 or 4 weeks we've had backs go down, and he's been able to go back to fullback, or he's even played in the sort of centres one game, played in the halves, played in hooker. I think he played 3 positions in that Broncos game. So. Yeah, I mean, and no knock on Tanah Boyd. He's obviously playing well in New South Wales Cup, but it is
yeah,
a step up to first grade, and he hasn't played all season. Sort of, being at the Titans for a few seasons, and was sort of touted as what seemed to be one of the next big things. Like he was almost touted as like the next Queensland halfback when he came onto the scene, and he hasn't quite lived up to the expectation yet. So hopefully he can run out there this weekend and really give it his all and show like bring some of that form from New South Wales Cup through the first grade. So like as I said, I'm not surprised, but I probably would have preferred to see Tamara Martin get that shot. What were your
Yeah.
thoughts on it, John?
Well, fair enough, bro. But yeah, I honestly thought that as much as I love Tomato Martin, I think he's an amazing player. And previously, when he's needed to step into the 7 jersey, he's done that jersey proud and done really well. I still thought that Tanah Boyd would fill the void. Tanah Boyd would fill the void because of his like for like sort of player that Metcalf was. A running attacking player, quite fast, got a long kicking game as well. And I think that's what got him the nod ahead of Tomato Martin in the end, was his superior kicking game. And then you can't deny that he's got a superior kicking game. He's got a great kicking game, and like you mentioned, he's been playing really well in New South Wales Cup, and I think he deserves his chance. And I just really hope he takes it with both hands, because we need him to, because with Luke Metcalf out, it leaves a big gap. So, question is, can he fill that gap? So we'll wait to see on Sunday. I'm gonna be at the game, by the way. I'm gonna be at the game. Hopefully the weather's gonna hold up, because apparently it's supposed to be quite heavy rain on Sunday. But it's a sold out game. It's not just the Warriors playing. The Wahine Wars are playing as well in the double header there. So it'll be awesome to see that game as well. But yeah, no, I'm looking really forward to this game, because it's not just the only change though in the side. You got Tuapiki's come back. He's come back to replace Chance. Well, not replace him, but step in there while Chance is injured. And because Chance is, I think, out for 4 or 5 weeks. I think they diagnosed that at the time. And also the shock return of DWZ. The Lesniak, because I thought he was going to be out for a bit longer, but he's back in. But he replaces, he's a straight swap for Kossi, which is understandable, because obviously Kossi didn't have the greatest of games in the last games. Still didn't like the bagging of the way people bagged him. Like, I understand, like we spoke about this last time. Everyone can fair criticism, healthy criticism, but they bagged him badly. So, but anyway, that's another story. Yeah, and also you've Kurt Capewell has been left out of the 17, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, depending on how he goes in Origin tonight, because as we're recording, this is a Wednesday night. Origin's actually probably kicking off in about an hour, so we're going to get it through this. But depending how
Blues, baby.
yeah, no,
Up the Blues.
depending how he gets through it all, depending how he gets through it all, I wouldn't, if he's all good, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets injected back into the 17 somewhere. Just depends who comes out. So anyway, this is the list. Just quickly go through the list. Fullback Tuapiki, DWZ in the wing. The other wing, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. 2 centres, Adam Pompey, Rocco Berry. The halves, Chanel Harris-Tavita, Tanah Boyd, halfback. Captain and front row, James Fisher-Harris. Hooker, Wade Egan. Partnering Fisher-Harris, Jackson Ford starting. That's what we spoke about that last week, about maybe him starting. It'd probably be a better option. Halasima in the second row with Niokore. He moves back to the second row, and Aaron Clark at 13. In the interchange, we've got Tomato Martin at 14. Jacob Laban goes back to the bench, so he's at 15. Dimitri Vaimonga, 16, and Tanner Stower-Smith comes into the side. So it actually looks, even with Capewell not in that 17, it still looks like a pretty strong side. What do you reckon?
Yeah, man, I agree. Can't complain too much. I'm with you. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see Capewell come in, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him come in and play centre, to be honest, and bring maybe Pompey be pushed out to that wing, and if Dallon's not, because what game was it when Dallon got injured? Was it the Panthers game? Was it? So what's that, like three weeks ago?
It was the home game, against Panthers.
And I feel like they said he was out for at least 4 weeks, and I mean, it's not like he's been lighting the world on fire this season, so I don't know why you'd be rushing him back after he's not played a heap of games this season, but it was obviously out the first sort of 8 or 9 rounds of injury from memory. So yeah, that would be my pick. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. It's they need to kind of figure out what they're doing with Halasima, I think, because they sort of start him 1 week and then the next week he's come off the bench. There's no consistency there. I do think he is more of an impact player, so I wonder whether there's more sort of you gain more out of starting Jacob Laban maybe, and then having Halasima come off the bench. He does need to play more than he played in the last game. I think he only got 35 minutes in that Broncos game, but it was also due to So he is an impact player when he comes off the bench, and in that game, obviously we were just on the back foot, and he might not have been able to sort of have the same sort of input on the game as he did. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the team. Yeah, looking forward to seeing how Harris DeVita and Tanah Boyd play. Together. So they obviously wouldn't have played a lot together. Only would have trained. Never played first grade together.
Yeah.
Rocco Berry's sort of been a bit rocky this season. Excuse the pun there. But we've both sort of sung his praises in previous seasons, and we know what he's capable of. So I really hope that he can sort of come into some form in this game. And then some big battles up the front. Fisher Harris coming up against Terrell May, and then Halasima up against Fainu. And good to see Noah Corey sort of just doing what was asked of him as usual, and Aaron Clark he'll be Mr. Reliable. So
yeah.
And looking forward to seeing more of Tanner Smith. I've loved what I've seen from him so far, and there's probably three games he's played this season. He's obviously coming off the bench there, but I think it's probably the strongest side we could expect. But I've got my questions about what will happen with Capewell, because I think he's not 18th man, but he is on the extended bench, and the game's on Sunday, so he's got plenty of time to recover. Jerome Luai starting for the Tigers, plenty of Origin players playing on Saturday as well. So, I suspect Capewell will play, but also Webster does love those sort of late changes and playing those mind games a bit. So
He does.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting game. Bad time to play the Tigers. Just played themselves into some form last week with a good win against the
Roosters.
the Roosters. It was an exciting game. I think it was 28-30 or something in the end. So plenty of tries. So I suspect, you talked about the weather before. I suspect if the weather's all right, I do expect a few points to be scored in this game, because we've seen from the Warriors in the last few weeks, I think their attack sort of has looked a little bit more sharp. Obviously, losing your halfback's not going to help, but hopefully Tanah Boyd can bring some direction, and we can hold off for this Tigers team. And this is a game which, sort of looking at these final 8 or 9 games, I feel like this one's really one which we need to win. We've lost 2 in a row, and then we do have some winnable games coming up afterwards, but at home, I think we've lost our last 2 at home potentially, to the Raiders and then to the Panthers. So yeah, I'm sure they'll be sort of looking at this one, being like, we need to get our season back on track, and a good win here against the Tigers will do just that.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I just want to go back to your point in regards to Halasima. It's a good point you make, because a lot of people around the consistency thing. So a lot of people think that he's better as an impact player coming off the bench, whereas a lot of people believe he deserves to start, and he does just as well. So, but you don't know, because of the fact that he's going when he's week in, week out is a bit of a swap. You don't know where to fit him in, where he fits in, because you can't really tell. You need you need a bit of time starting, or a little bit of time just staying on the bench, and to figure out where it's best for you. But going back to Capewell, talking about the mind games. Yeah, I totally agree. That's what Webster does it many times. I don't know if he probably wouldn't call it mind games, but he does make those last minute changes. But if Capewell was to come in, where would you put him? Or do you think maybe they put him in at 23 just because they're just worried about because of what's happened? What happened with Mitch Barnett? Just his body might be battered and bruised, and they just want to give him a time to recover, and this might be a game to do that. So, what do you think? Who would you if they were going to put him in? Who would you be taking out? And
Oh yes, I mean, I think they put him into centre, and then move Pompey out to wing, and not start Dallin, even if Dallin's fit. He's hardly been lighting the world on fire, as I said before, and I mean, and Cape Bell's actually done pretty well in the centres. I think he's probably our second best option in centre at the moment, with the way that the sort of injuries are playing. And I mean, at the start of the season, I was like, I don't have much time for him playing in the centres, but I think in a must-win game like this, I mean, you've got to play your best team. I mean, he'll have 4 days to recover, to get back and recover.
Yeah.
And it's just from Sydney as well. Like last time was in Perth, so they held off. But No, I'm chips in on Kate Bog coming in at centre, and
Yeah.
then and maybe even a Louis switcheroo in the second row with Laban starting and Halasima coming off the bench.
Yeah, I actually see it differently, mate. I actually think that if he does come in, he would go straight into the second row, and I think they would take Halasima out and put him on the bench, and I reckon they would put that it means that Tanah Smith will drop out on the 17. That's how I see it happening. I'm not saying that's how I would prefer it happening, but I think that's what will happen if he comes in. I don't think that like with Dallin, for example, is we all love Dallin, but he hasn't been in the greatest form. Let's just be honest, he hasn't been in the greatest form this season, and but they'll keep putting him there because of his high profile, because of his high profile. They'll keep putting him there, and he's done it in the past, so they'll keep putting him in there. And so the reality is, I think that it'll either be Ukure or Halasima dropping out of the second row. Capewell goes in there, and then one of those two will go into the on the interchange, and then Tanah Smith will drop out. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens, and obviously it comes down to what happens at Origin tonight. But anyway, mate, look, let's get into it, Because this is so. Just so everyone knows who's listening and watching, we're going to go into those. We're going to go into the top six. We're not going to go over every team. Like I said, we'll be here forever if we did that. We're just going to go to the top six, and we're just going to go say the teams, say who they're playing. We're going to call it a win or not. Put the 2 points. And we're going to add them up, and then we're going to calculate it just live and just see where we think they're going to end up. So where we think the Warriors are going to end up. So if you're listening right now or watching it right now, right in the comments, just tell us where you think the Warriors will end up in the ladder. Will they stay in the top 8? Will they drop out of the top 8, or will they remain in the top 4? So let's do this, bro. Okay.
Sounds good, man.
All right. So the current top 6, right, is the Raiders. They're on 30 points. They're leading the ladder. Second is Storm. They're on 28 points. Bulldogs equal with them on 28 points, but the Storm have a better points differential. The Warriors are on 26 points, so that's the top 4. Fifth place, the Broncos. They're on 22 points, so the Warriors have a 4-point buffer there on the Broncos. Sorry, and then in sixth place is the Panthers, who are on 21 points. Now, to round out the top 8, I'll just do this quickly. The Dolphins and the Seagulls round out the top 8, and they're both on 20 points. So there's not that big of a gap there either. So those guys are in contention. And if you look further down, the Roosters and the Sharks, they're both on 20 points as well. And even 11th place Dragons are on 18, and Cowboys are on 17, and Knights on 6. So there's still time for teams to make a surge towards the finals. In this last 9 rounds, but. Anyway, we're just going to go over the top 6 because I think those are the ones we have to be more wary of as Warriors fans at the moment. All right, so we just went over the Tigers. We talked about the team playing the Tigers game. You got your pen? You got your pen there, mate?
Yeah, mate.
All right, you ready? Let's go. All right, first game. I'll let you go first, and I'll respond with you. So, Tigers playing the Tigers at home. Are we winning this game or are we losing this game?
Yeah, we'll get the 2 points.
Right. Okay, Rich. 2 points. Yep. Second game, round 20 versus the Knights. I'm not going to say whether they're home or away because it'll just take more time, and we want to watch Origin. So, yeah. So Knights, round 20. Are we winning or losing?
Yeah, and Sydney, Newcastle at least, but we've been good away from home, so I like the Warriors in that game.
Okay, 2 points for Richard there. Sorry, I didn't tell you mine. Yeah, my Tigers. Yes, don't tell you mine. Yes, Tigers, 2 points for me. Knights, 2 points for me. Round 21, we versus the Titans. 2 points for you or a loss?
It's at home, I think. Yeah, so I'll take a win. The Titans have been pretty horrendous this season.
Yep, me too. 2 points for me. That's right. Okay, next game. This is probably the big test for the Warriors at the moment. Dolphins.
Yeah, one of only 2 games against top 8 and the remaining 9 games.
Yep.
At home though, and we've already beaten the Dolphins this year, so I like the Wires. They'll pick up the 2 points and make it 4 wins in a row.
Yep, I agree with you. I'm going there as well, and that's not just being biased. I think we can do it. Now, this is the other top 4 matchup that we have. The only other one that we have, round 23 versus the Bulldogs. What have you got? Win or lose?
Over in Sydney, it'll be hard, Bulldogs are playing well, so I think we'll lose that one.
Okay, so as much as I would love the Warriors to win this one, I've given the win to the Bulldogs just for this game. If we played in the finals, no, we're winning that one. So yep, I've got that. So 0 points for you and me. Yep, 0 points. Round 24 versus the Dragons. Win or lose?
It is at home, so I'll go win. I think if it was a Dragons home game, I'd be leaning with them because they've actually been a bit better the last couple of weeks. But nah, I like the Warriors to take that one, so they'll get 2 points.
Okay, 2 points. 2 points for me as well. Going good so far. This is what I mean by the Warriors have a bit of a favourable draw on the run home, but they've still got to win because you can't say that every game's an easy game in the NRL, and we've seen that throughout the season. So, but
Yeah.
going on current form, I think this is what would happen. Okay, round 25 versus the Titans. Win or lose?
Another game meets Titans. How good? Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll take a win. We'll take a win there.
Yep, 2 points for me too. Next game, round 26 versus the Eels.
Another 2 points.
Yep, another 2 points for me as well. And last game of the season, Manly Sea Eagles. Win or lose?
I got us losing that one.
You
It'll be over there, and we've got a pretty bad record over there from memory. So.
Yep. Okay, I've got us winning. So, can you quickly calculate? So the Warriors are on 26 points. So where would they? How many points would they end up on? So you've said, I'll do it with you. So, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36,
40
38,
points.
40 points. Okay.
For me, yeah.
Yeah, for me it's 42 points. So that's where we think the Warriors are going to win. We won't do the where they end up on the ladder till the end, but that's where you've got 40 points for the Warriors, and I've got 42 points. Nice. It's a good number. Good numbers. Okay, let's dive straight into the other team. We won't do it in order. We'll just do it randomly. So Broncos, who are 5th place, they're 4 points behind the Warriors. They're starting to have a little bit of a late season comeback. But even though they beat the Warriors, I don't think they were that great. I think they were good, but nothing spectacular. So see how we go here. Okay, so round 19 versus the Titans, win or lose?
It's on Sunday, isn't it? So they'll have Origin players back. Lose.
Lose. Okay, 0 points. The next game they've got a bye in round 20, so that's helpful for them.
2 points.
They automatic 2 points there. Round 21 versus the Eels.
Yeah, they'll win that.
Yep. So I had win for Titans as well. Forgot to give my answer there too. So round 22 versus Souths, win or lose?
Win.
Win. Yep, 2 points. Me too. I've got that. This is the big challenge for the Broncos, I reckon. Round 23 versus the Storm.
Give me the Storm on that one.
Yep, me too. So 0 points. Yep. And there's another big one for them. Round 24 versus the Dolphins. It's Suncorp, even though I think it's a home game for them. Oh, sorry, it's an away game for them, but we know what that means. So, yeah. Versus the Dolphins.
I'll go to the Dolphins.
I went Dolphins as well. I thought I got them loose. I got Dolphins as well.
Yeah.
Round 25 versus the Knights. Win or lose?
Win.
I got win as well. Round 26 versus the Cowboys. Win or lose?
Win.
Win. All right. And last game of the round for them against the Storm again.
Storm will probably have a guaranteed top 2 spot. And will rest players, so I'll go Broncos.
Oh, you went Broncos. Nice. Okay, do you want to add that up? So the Broncos are on 22 points. So you want to add yours up?
Yeah. 34.
34?
Yeah.
And I've got, hold on, 22. I've got 34 as well. 34. Nice. So that's what we reckon the Broncos will end up. All right. Next team, Bulldogs, who are currently 3rd place, second equal with the Storm, but in 3rd because of a points differential. Round 19 versus the Cowboys. Win or lose?
They'll win that.
Yep, 2 points. Round 20 versus the Dragons. Win or lose?
Yeah, another win there.
Yep. Round 21 versus Manly, win or lose?
They will win.
Win, yep. Round 22 versus the Tigers?
They'll lose that.
Oh, you're going to lose. Oh, interesting. I've got them as win. So sorry, I've got all wins as well. Win, 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 win for those four. We've got to keep ourselves together here. Round 23 versus the Warriors. We both picked the Warriors to lose the Bulldogs in their
Yep,
game.
both
So,
did.
so 2 points. Round 24 versus the Roosters.
They'll win that one.
Yep, got that as well. Round 25 versus the Storm.
They'll get smoked.
Yep, I agree. Round 26 versus the Panthers.
Oh, that's a good game.
Yeah.
That first game was anything to go by. It'll be a beauty. But I'll go with the Panthers again. I think it will be Panthers home game from memory. The last one was a home game for the doggies.
Yep. I've got Panthers winning as well, so we're on the same page there. And last game for this season is against the Sharks.
Yeah, they'll win that. Oh, they might rest players though, and the Sharks might be. Oh no, because I think they've lost enough games. They'll probably still want to win. Yeah.
Yeah.
A win. 3
All right.
points.
So calculate it. 4, 6, 8. I've got 42 points. I've got them in there on 42 points.
I've got them on 40.
You got them on 40? Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So again, just a reminder to everyone that's listening in, we're just doing this quickly. I would love to go into more deeper analysis of why they would beat this team, but we just don't have the time. Otherwise, we'll be here forever. You'll get bored of us. So next team I've got here, the Panthers. Okay, so the Panthers are on 21 points. Four premierships in a row. Started off this season pretty bad. They were really bad. They were just really bad. That's the way to put it. They were just really bad. But they're having another late surge in the season, and you can't really discount a Panthers team when they've got so much great players there. So especially with Nathan Cleary there steering the wheel there. So yeah, Panthers. All right. So round 19 versus the Eels. Win or lose?
Yeah, they'll win that.
Yep. Round 20 versus the Rabbitohs. Win or lose? I've got Eels to. I've got the Panthers to beat the Eels. Yep.
Yeah, they'll beat the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, I've got them beating the Rabbitohs as well. Round 21 versus the Tigers.
I think the Tigers have got a few upsets in them. I'm going to go with the Tigers in that one.
Ooh,
Bit of a
nice.
grudge match.
Yeah, nice. Round 22 versus the Titans.
Yeah, they'll get the 2 points there.
Yep. Round 23 versus the Knights.
Yeah, another 2 points there.
Yep. Round 24 versus the Storm.
Ooh, that'll be a good one, won't it?
Yeah.
I'll go Storm.
Storm. Yep. I had Storm as well. Yep. And I had the Knights. I had them to beat the Tigers, Titans, and Knights. Lose to the Storm as well. I've got that the same as well as you. Round 25 versus your beloved Raiders.
The Durs. Oh, do you know where it is? Out of curiosity.
I have to look at the draw. Hold on a second. If you give me 2 seconds, I'll look for you. Where is this? Okay.
It's generally a game which I'd choose on where it is.
All right. Let me find that out for you. 1 second. What round is it again? It's 25. So they are playing the Raiders. Yep. No, they're playing. Panthers are at home, so Raiders are away.
I'll go Panthers.
Panthers. All right. I've got the Panthers to win that game as well. Round 26 versus the Bulldogs, and I think from when we went over the Bulldogs, we both picked the Bulldogs to lose. Yeah, so I'll put your 2 points there. Yep. And last game of this season is against the Dragons. Win or lose, mate?
The Dragons will pull off an upset there.
Oh, wow, interesting. All right, we calculate your points, mate. Remember the Panthers are currently on 21 points. I've got 37. I've got them in up on 37 points.
What did you say they are on at the moment? 21.
21, yeah.
I have them on 33.
All right. 33. All right.
So
Now,
have you only got them losing one game?
I've only
The
got them
last 9.
losing to the Storm. I've got them winning every other game.
Interesting.
Yeah, I haven't got. You've got them losing to the Tigers,
And the
Storm,
Gons.
Storm, and the Dragons. Yeah, so I've got them beating Tigers and the Dragons, but I have them losing to the Storm. So that's where we differ. All right, your beloved Raiders now.
My dudes.
Well, they got it. They start easy because so the Raiders are currently in first place on 30 points. They're looking pretty good, and it looks even better for them because they come into round 19 with a bye. So
not the only bye they've got in the final 9 rounds too.
No, exactly. They've got 2 byes, so it's quite handy, isn't it? So we'll go for round 20 there. Round 20 versus the Eels. Raiders versus the Eels.
Yeah, they'll get the 2 points there.
Yep, I've got them winning as well. Round 21, Knights versus the Knights.
Yeah.
Yep, me too. I've got them winning as well. Round 22 versus the Dragons. Win or lose?
They will win that.
All right, me too. I've got them winning as that one as well. Round 23 versus Manly.
I'm going to go Manly with that one.
All right, I've got them winning against Manly. They've got a bye the next round, so that's an automatic 2 points. Round 25, they're playing the Panthers, and I think we both picked the Panthers. The Panthers to win that game, so that's just a 0 for both of us. Round 26 versus the Tigers.
Oh, those Tigers! They might throw a little spanner in the works. Sorry, I'm just going to really quickly check where that game is.
Yep.
It's in Canberra, so I'll give it to Canberra.
All right, so 2 points for that one. In the last game, round 27 versus the Dolphins.
Fins up.
I've got fins up as well, so 0 points there for them. So calculate it, mate. Canberra on 30, so 30 points. The
42.
suspense. 42. I've got them on 40. I've got them on 44 points. You got them on 42. All right. So last team we're going to quickly analyze, and then we'll after we've done this, then we can talk about our calculations and what we've come up with and what we think, how we think this is going to pan out. All right. So the last team we want to quickly go over is the Storm. All right. So Storm. Round 19 versus the Knights. Win or lose?
They'll win that.
Yep. Round 20 versus Manly. I got them to win as well. Yep. Round 20 versus Manly. Win or lose?
Lose.
Oh, far out.
A bit of a rivalry there, I'm taking it back to 2008.
Okay. That's a very, very, very bold prediction. But all right, here we go. Round 21 versus the Roosters. Win or lose?
Yeah, they'll win that.
Yep. Round 22 versus the Eels. Do I even have to ask you?
Nah.
Yeah.
2 points.
Same here. Round 23 versus the Broncos. We both picked the Broncos to lose to the Storm. So put your 2 points there. We also picked the Panthers to lose to the Storm as well. That's the next game. That's the next round. Round 24. So Panthers again 2 points for the Storm. Round 25 versus the Bulldogs. We both picked the Bulldogs to lose to the Storm, so there'll be automatic 2 points there. Round 26 versus the Roosters.
Oh, they would have won 5 in a row by then, so I'll go the Roosters.
All right, Roosters, right. 0 points there for Richard. I picked the Roosters to lose, so Storm to win that one. In round 27 versus the Broncos, we already picked that game. We picked who'd you pick?
I think I picked the Broncos, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. No. You picked the Storm. Oh no, you didn't. You picked the Broncos.
I picked the Broncos.
My bad. I was looking at my letter. So calculate that one up. And they're on 28 points at the moment.
40.
40? All right. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So I've got 46. All right. So let's quickly go over those numbers. So who was your highest ranking team in terms of points?
The Raiders
Raiders. Okay. So Richard,
on 42.
42. All right. So Richard, for you, the minor premiers are going to be your beloved Canberra Raiders.
Oh, I'd love to see it.
Yep.
Absolutely love to see it.
My highest ranking points in terms of mine was the Storm on 46. So for me, the Storm are going to be the minor premiers.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to have another loss or two in there, John. You know, like it's such an unpredictable comp at the moment.
It is, and then, like I'm totally agreeing with you, and I wouldn't be surprised if there is, a few upsets there. But it's just more the fact that I'm just going on current form and stuff. I don't see how they would lose the games that are going on at the moment. So that's me in the moment. But more, I mean, if they're not minor premiers and they go somewhere else, I'm more than happy with that, as you know. But okay, so who was your second ranked team? So you had Canberra on 44. Yeah.
Canberra on 42, and then I've got the Storm, Bulldogs, and Warriors all on 40. But judging on current points differential, there'll be Storm second, Bulldogs third, and Warriors fourth.
Okay, Storm second, Bulldogs third.
Yeah.
And Warriors 4. Okay, so where's mine? I've got Raiders on 44 points, so they'll be coming in second for me. Third, I've got 42 points for the Bulldogs and 42 points for the Warriors, but the same issue as you had, points differential. I mean, the points differential at the moment, currently the Warriors have 11 points, plus 11 points, and the Bulldogs are on plus 92. So the Warriors would need a couple of big breakout games to catch up. So
Can't see that happening.
yeah, I don't see it happening at the moment as well. But yeah. So that's my top four. So you've got Canberra, Storm, Bulldogs, and Warriors.
Yeah.
And I've got Storm, Raiders, Bulldogs, and Warriors. So that's it, everyone. That's the top four for us. Richard has Canberra winning his minor premiers, second Storm, Bulldogs in third, and Warriors in fourth. So that's the top four. That's your top four for the season.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, and I've got minor premiers Storm, Raiders in second, Bulldogs in third, and Warriors in fourth, just on points differential. So I guess that answers our question. Will the Warriors make the top four? I still believe so, going on this draw and going on the other team's draw as well. So
Yeah, well, on my one, I've got the Broncos on 34 and the Panthers on 33 after that. So I've still got them having a couple of game buffer. I think it's just they do have a light run home. You look at the likes of the Broncos. They've got the Storm. They've got the Dolphins. They've got the Storm twice. They've got the Dolphins. We've got the Bulldogs. Have got Warriors, Roosters, Storm, Panthers, Sharks to finish off. So it's a pretty tough run home. The Panthers have got a couple of. Panthers have got a pretty soft run actually, but I think they've got a couple of losses in there, and the Raiders have got those two byes, which I think they're going to really benefit from late in the season.
Yeah, so I've got the Panthers to finish in fifth spot, and the Broncos in the sixth. And that's not disregarding, what the other, like I said before, you've got the Dolphins on 20, Seagulls on 20, Roosters on 20, Sharks on 20. You got 4 teams on 20 points, and you got the Dragons are on 18. So there still could be like a surge from another team. So we could be totally wrong on this, but just going on the current top 6 that we have right now. And the draw for each, that's why we went for every game, just to go, yes, win, lose, how we think it's going to pan out. So, again, answering everyone's question, can the Warriors still do it? Because the Aussie media has been pretty harsh. We lose Barnett and Metcalf, and I know that they're big losses and they're real big vital cogs in the side, but it doesn't mean the season's over. I don't think the season's over just because we lose those players. What do you reckon?
Nah, I mean, They are big losses,
Yeah,
and like it's all well and good to say, no, the season's not over, but we might see Tanah Boyd play 7 this weekend and realise, oh, we might not be able to win enough games to make the 8 anymore. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure that won't be the case, but like we haven't seen him this guy play in the Warriors. He's not just playing, off the bench or not
yeah,
playing in the centres or not playing on the wing. Like he's playing halfback. It's the most important position on the field. He's the general of the team. So
yeah,
yeah, like I mean, we haven't seen him play, but from what we know from him playing New South Wales Cup, we know that he's a solid player. He knows how to play footy. So we just hope, and it seems like he's really well respected in the club as well. Like just from all the sort of posts, like when his announcement wasn't, when his debut was announced, the club had a big post on social media, sort of big Tanah Boyd appreciation post and that sort of thing. So they obviously they like what they've seen from him there, and they're
yeah,
giving him the first shot. So best of luck to him and the
yeah.
boys this weekend, and for the rest of the season.
Yeah, well, like you were saying earlier on, he hasn't put a foot wrong in New South Wales Cup. He's definitely lighting it all up there, and the Warriors are doing exceedingly well in that competition. But it isn't the NRL, but it is the the it is a stepping stone towards the NRL. New South Wales Cup. So he's played NRL before. He knows what to expect, and I'm expecting a big game from him. I'm expecting him to do something special, and even if he just has an average game, we still win. Give him some time. Don't go out there saying, just say, for example, here's an average game. I'm more concerned that Warriors fans are going to say, oh, we should have gone with Tamati Martin. That'll happen if he doesn't set the world alight. That's the thing about
Yeah.
Warriors fans. If he doesn't set the world alight, they'll start digging. They won't maybe bag him out like they've done with Cossie, but they'll say, "Oh, we should have gone with Tamati Martin." They'll start saying things like that. Give him some time. It's not.
I'll
It's a. Yeah,
I'll be clipping me saying before, oh, Tamara Martin should be there, and I'll be clipping that out of context and putting it all over social media just to make myself look smart. Nah, no, I mean that is the thing. I'm happy for him to have a shot, and
yeah,
I want to see him play well, and I want to see Tamari kind of do his role off the bench well as well.
yeah. Exactly, and I honestly, and the thing is that when it comes to the Warriors, historically, when it comes to depth in the halves has not been a big thing, is it? Whether we've got a depth in 5'8" or a halfback. We've had like star halfbacks or a star 5'8". When you think about the Stacey Jones, Sean Johnsons, the James Maloney, Chad Townsend when he was before he went off and started doing well, for the Cowboys, etc. And so we've never really had a lot of depth. You've had those players there that are starting, but if one of those guys went down, who was there to replace them? We would always be scrambling to find someone. I mean, even in the previous years, we had Ash Taylor, for example, come from the Titans because we were scrambling to find halves, and even he went down. He had to retire because of injuries. So basically, it's quite rare when we see a Warriors side that has depth in the halves where the star halfback goes down. You've got someone that can actually come in and replace. You've got more than one. You've actually got Tamati Martin or Tanah Boyd who can fill that gap and they can do it well. How awesome is that?
So good to see. And even with so like Mitch Barnett going down, we got a couple of guys who've been able to fill the role there. There's young guys coming through.
Yeah.
Obviously the depth and the sort of outside backs has probably been tested this year, but apart from that, we've got 3 world class options at fullback. So
Yeah.
it's just it's awesome to see the club in a position where if one of our key guys goes down, we're not just throwing the towel in. Like we're still well in contention to make the finals and to go deep into September.
Yeah, nice, mate. And again, we've just gone through how we think the Warriors are going to end up, and so we've still got the belief that they can do this, right?
I mean, the top
Yeah.
4, baby, here we
Top,
come.
top 4. So yeah,
Couple of my mates booked grand final tickets today.
did they?
I couldn't do it. I just more not in the financial position to do it. And yeah, I went 2 years ago. Yeah, it was great. I saw probably the best grand final you ever go to 2 years ago.
Mm.
But Yeah, nah. I did say I'll stay in the group chat, and just in case I get FOMO, and I'll buy myself a ticket up in the nosebleeds and come tag along. But at the moment, yeah, shout out to Tom and Johnny and Simon, a few of the boys heading along, booked tickets today, so I'm sure they'll have a good time. And if the Warriors are there, I'll see you there too, boys.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I remember you going to the grand final because I think the whole world remembers it because there's a lot of content taken of you. You know, there's one that I can remember when you're on a boat, you're like drunkenly singing, on the boat on Sydney Harbour. Uh, yeah,
Bit of
yeah,
Backstreet Boys, I think it was. Yeah.
yeah. Was it Backstreet Boys?
Oh, it would have been Backstreet Boys on. Yeah, there was all sorts happening. It was a hell of a trip.
Yeah, I saw you. You're singing loud, and if someone was filming you doing it, and you're on Sydney Harbour on a boat singing Backstreet Boys out loud, all right, yeah, would have been good content for our channel, mate. But
Yeah. Oh, hey, if the Warriors make it, I'll be back. And there's talk of hiring the boat again, so we'll
yeah.
see.
Well, I mean, if the Warriors make it, I'm going as well, so we can go together. We can go. Plus, we said we were trying to make it go to Magic Round next year anyway. But
Yeah.
well, I mean, that was fun. That was fun. I mean, it's because again, a lot of people are asking, will the Warriors make the top four? Will they make the top eight? I didn't doubt. I had no doubt that they'll make the top eight. I have no doubt that they'll make the top eight. They'll stay within the top eight. It was whether they could stay in the top four. That's why I wanted to go through, all those games. And I know, like I said, I know there are other teams that come into it as well, so they could change everything up. And so these are just really, really quick predictions. Everyone who's listening, but I still believe that if the Warriors go ahead and win the games that we've predicted, and the other teams as well go ahead the way we've predicted, then we should still be safe in the top four because their 4-point buffer is really, really handy, isn't it? It's only 4 points, but it's quite handy, especially in the tight comp.
Yeah, and most other teams have used at least two of their buys. I think the Raiders and the Titans maybe the only team. There's another team a bit further down that still have 2 buys to go. But that's guaranteed 4 points for them. But every other team's either used their buys or only got one left. So it'll be a stressful couple of weeks to round off the season. That's for sure. A couple of months to round the season off, I'm sure, John.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I mean, let's just start one game at a time. We've got the Tigers. Let's just win that game and keep that 4-point buffer going. I mean, the Broncos, they're playing the Titans, so we expect them to win. So we expect that 4-point buffer to stay there. But the Titans could do us a big favor if they do win the game because the Broncos are going to buy the following round. So they'll still accumulate points, so they could do us a favor.
I wouldn't completely I mean, the Titans aren't great this season, but they get up for games against the Broncos. They've got a really good record against the Broncos. So that would be one there. On paper they should lose, but and the Broncos will have 4 or 5 guys who've been playing Origin as well. So I imagine they'll all play. I think it looks like they're all named. And Ben Hunt returns for the Broncos as well. But, I mean, at this comp, anyone can beat anyone, and we know that. And I'm sure that the way that we've picked it with these games, that we think, that's easy 2 points to this team, there'll be a couple which go the other way. So it's been a great season, and I'm expecting another couple of months of great footy to sink our teeth into.
Nice, mate. Nice. Well, look, we'll wrap it up there. Origin's going to start shortly, so we'll get this out as soon as possible. But everyone, again, if you're watching this, listening to this, put in the comments where you think who your top 4 or top 6 will be going on what we've got. We've got Warriors finishing. Both of us have Warriors finishing on 4th. Let us know what you think because that's the big talking point at the moment amongst Warriors fans. Will they stay in the top 8? No doubt. I think no doubt. But the top 4 is the big question for me. But anyway, I was going to say do tips, but let's just we'll stop. Should we flag that for today and just go straight into Origin? Because we're in Origin, and you still owe me a Maroons top, mate. In New South Wales, where's that happening?
Oh, I don't look good in purple, So
no, mate, you lost the bet. You still got to do it. You're trying to. You haven't. Don't tell me you've forgotten.
Double or nothing. If the Maroons win tonight, then I'll do it 2 weeks in a row.
All right. Deal. Virtual deal. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks for listening in to this special edition of the Couch Warriors on talking about the run home for the Warriors. I was excited about this episode to the point where I forgot to actually name my co-host, Richard. I actually probably forgot to name myself. So if you don't know my name, it's John Lazaron. But yeah, no, thanks everyone for tuning in. As always, we just ask that you subscribe and like and give us a comment, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Also, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all those platforms. Give us a follow, give us a subscribe. We love doing this, and we know that our supporter following group is starting to grow more, which we're really thankful for. So just, keep it going and spread the word. Spread the word about the Couch Warriors. You know you want to. You know you want to.
Amen.
Amen.
Up those wires, up those blues.
Yep. Up the Wires and up the Maroons. See you later, everybody. Good night.
Ooh, we've got the filth.
We are